Oh, we can see
so
ourselves.
So it says. Yeah. Is that okay?
No, it's great. I'm going to pull it over here. Subs.
Hello to anybody tuning in.
There you go. It says it's up. All right, but yeah, we're good.
Oh, hey. That's us. Let's see how we sound.
Sound great to me.
That'll work. But also we need to mute that.
Yeah.
Because that'll get annoying real fast. Okay, cool.
Can we see... Are you going to be on that so we can see the question? See the
Yep.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
And I am going to take this link and tweet it out.
We have... I can't see. People. 4 people are now watching. Give us a sec. We're going to get this... Get people here. Get people tuned in.
Our fearless leader, Aaron Blackerby, is, unfortunately for us, but fortunately for him, on vacation, and looks like he's having a hell of a time.
A lot better time than we're just having chill and talking Spurs hoops, so lucky him.
I mean, we're not having a bad time.
I never said that, but I'm saying it's such a... He's in France. He's enjoying life, you know. Saw someone get married. His best friend got married.
Yeah. No, and we miss him. We miss having him.
He wore a kilt.
Right. That looked pretty sick.
He looked pretty fucking badass.
He looked real good in that
He
kilt.
fucking
I
pulled
can't
off
lie.
the kilt, dude.
I can't lie at all.
I
He looked
was
good
like,
in the kilt.
fuck, dude. I might have to get a kilt. After I saw him rocking the kilt, it was pretty sick.
The thing about Aaron is like he'll wear stuff and rock stuff that other people simply could not.
No chance. I cannot. My legs are too skinny for the kilt.
Right. You need to train more.
Yeah, I need to put some meat on these legs before I start doing that. Let's see here. Are you gonna tweet that out, and then I'll go after it, and then we'll start taking stuff. I think people are already putting some stuff in. I don't know. Can't see shit from that far away.
You can't see the chat in here.
Oh, yeah,
you got the chat right here.
Gio.
Yeah.
Oh shit. What up, Gio? You're not. Okay. I don't think Gio's a Spurs fan though. I think we gotta.
We'll allow
it.
No, we'll allow it.
It's
your boy though.
I have an inkling suspicion that he is.
I feel like you have a personal vendetta here.
Me and Gio go way back. That's my boy. What up, G? Do we have to give up for? Oh, let us get like a few more minutes into this, and then we'll start taking some questions.
Let's see what the question is though.
We're just asking about the 14 stuff, and so we'll just let this get fired. We're gonna tweet it out the link.
14 is interesting.
We're gonna tweet out the link right now, and then we're gonna give it about 2 minutes, 3, 4, 5 minutes. We'll introduce ourselves.
Woo!
Watch out! You're on the. Start riding the bike. Give it here a second, and we'll get locked in, peeps.
All right, 10 people in here. Cool. Love that. Love that for us. How have you been though, Zach? What's new?
I had a light early week of work, which was nice. Last week really kicked my ass, but
cool.
End of the week's gonna be kind of busy. I'll be out of town the next few days for work. So other than that, it's good. Played some GTA with you. Made some money. I'm like a millionaire now on GTA, so I feel like a G.
I had to help you get your bread up. You were hustling backwards.
I was just pushing a little weight around on GTA and it wouldn't get anywhere. So it's this way it goes sometimes. What's up with you though? You been all right?
I've been good. I've been good.
Working 80 hour weeks?
Working hard. Hardly working. All of that stuff.
Hardest part is showing up.
Yeah, no, it's not a hard place to show up to every day. So it's been good.
AB should live stream.
Dude, I would love to call him right now and just see what's up.
I'll do it.
What time is it in France? So get the world clock up first.
I'll FaceTime him right now, just so he can.
Time in
No, it's like
France.
it's like 12 o'clock.
It's 1:15 a.m., dude. You fucking say
I
that.
won't do that. I mean, let me.
You were so confident.
I was.
You were so.
If
confident.
it was 12, I mean, but the fact that it's that late.
No, that man is.
That's late.
Full of crepes and probably very.
Oh, no! I lied.
He's calling you back?
I lied.
Oh wow.
AB. Oh, he's in a robe. He's in a robe. We're live. AB, the people are asking. Somebody wants you to live stream between two croissants in France. And so we're gonna give the people what they want. And we're
I can't be live streaming between croissants.
Yeah.
It's not croissants, it's croissants.
See,
He's already
a man of
already
culture.
too far gone.
He's a man of culture. He's in a robe.
I just left my Chambert.
Oh, this guy.
This
I
guy's
gotta get a pen down at reception because we gotta get our laundry done. So
classic.
I'm about to drunkenly do our laundry.
Oh,
so
in France.
It's about.
That's an accidental Bronson.
Yeah, that's such an action Bronson quote.
Here,
Just say hi to the people. Just say hi to the people real quick.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm here. I'm in Paris right now. I'll call you right back. I'm getting in an elevator.
We're live. So
Yeah, we love you, buddy.
We just wanted to say hello.
We'll see
I'll be
you.
right back.
Yeah,
Okay,
we'll see you in a
bye.
bit.
Okay, bye.
That was very funny that you picked up. Thank you, Aaron.
In a robe, as expected.
That was very French. He was saying words I couldn't pronounce.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think we got 20 people in here.
Yeah, cool. All right, we can start
enough
talking about it.
That's enough to fill up a short bus. So
everybody. Yeah, dude, that's what I have always like thought about when doing these things. You got 20 people hanging out, like that's a good amount of people to hang out with at one time.
It is,
and I'm stoked that all of you are here hanging out with us. So thank you. If you want to hang out with us in real life,
yes.
I know you're really excited about
In
this
IRL.
one too, Zach. IRL. Dude, the Spurs are doing a watch party in Austin, Texas at the Armadillo Den, a venue we have frequented. And they want us to be there and do our live show from there. So thank you for helping us experiment with live stuff. And we're going to do that from team's event coming up for the draft, which will be very exciting.
I think you're really undershooting what's going on.
I am underselling it. I'm really excited.
We have been graciously, and this is something that, I don't think it's sunken into us. If you show up, and if you're one of the first 100 people to show up and walk to our booth and say you're subscribed or subscribe to us on YouTube or whatever you watch if you're on YouTube now, then you're probably going to get this on YouTube.
Right, yeah. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, that sort of thing.
You get a free drink on the house. And then there's also a bunch of other free stuff going on. And there's vendors everywhere, and they got a whole bunch of cool stuff going on.
Very, very excited.
And there's a lot of things going on that, we aren't in control of. That's going to be a great time. So let's just come on.
And we want to talk to you guys. We always love talking to Austin-based Spurs fans, because that's what we are.
We're also going to have a fourth seat.
Yeah,
so
we'll
you can
have a hot mic for you to jump on and give me your takes.
Tell us how you feel about life.
Right.
As a Spurs fan, we can talk about whatever. But there's going to be a fourth seat, so come talk to us.
I was going to say don't get too weird, but it's Austin, man. So keep Austin weird, I suppose.
If some of my friends show up, there's no...
It's right. We got to be careful. It will be a live show. But... yeah, really, really excited about that. And excited about a draft coming up here where the Spurs hold the 2nd pick and the 14th pick. And I already see some questions in the chat about those.
AB said he's calling one more time.
Okay, cool.
He wants to get one more call.
We'll allow it. We've got
then we got people waiting.
Fixing your hair.
AB, we got people waiting. What's up?
Oh, what are they waiting for?
You.
Right.
Oh, okay, I'm back for a little bit, because it's like 1:18 in the morning in Paris right now.
That's why I did stop calling you, because I was like, oh shit, it's a little late.
Right. Like, he called you and was very confident that it was 6 p.m. where you were. And I'm like, it's 6 p.m. here.
It's a 7-hour difference.
I said 12, asshole.
We did just get back from Harry's New York bar.
Okay.
Accurate?
Which was tight. It was like McSorley's in New York, for anybody that's familiar.
Okay.
Except they serve liquor.
Liquor, of course.
Yeah, what do the people want to know before I dip?
Do you-
I gotta drunkenly put in our laundry because I'm almost out of underwear for the week.
Didn't pack enough underwear / was pooping his pants. Classic.
Classic
Do
AB.
you have any questions for us from France? I know you've been a little disconnected out there, but you've been hitting the group chat with some questions about some goings on. We were just talking about the Spurs have the second pick and the 14th pick in the upcoming draft, but that's not really what Spurs land is talking about, or the NBA world at large is talking about regarding the Spurs. We got some KD juiciness happening.
Some slop, as you like to say.
This isn't slop. We have gone past slop.
Are we at
foreplay?
Are
we are so past slop. We are at DEFCON 2 regarding possible Duranting.
What's the question?
The question.
Have you been up to date?
Right. How up to date are you on this? What's the latest you've seen?
So I feel pretty up to date with the greater internet sphere.
Okay.
I
They still have internet.
I'm in a large metropolitan city, the fourth largest city in Europe currently.
Wow. Okay.
So cell phone service is good, as you can see. And
Much like Brian Wright, you have a cell phone.
Yes, I say that all the time. Brian Wright and I are so similar because we have cell phones.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty aware, but it's just like interesting. Like when I start reading about all the stuff going on in the States, it's like the middle of the afternoon here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like fun, but I'll be doing some more investigation tomorrow. I've looked up the top 10 basketball courts to check out in Paris.
Okay.
So I'll
Will
be
you
going
be
to
hooping?
check some of those out. I probably not. I don't have the shoes to like properly hoop.
And you
But
have
I
a
am
bad
pleased with
history
the
of
result.
vacation hooping injuries.
Don't do that.
Right? Like that's. I'm not making that up.
We don't need to go into that. He's going to hoops. We don't need to go into that. It's gonna be a bad
But
story.
I am.
They have better
I am
hospitals in
planning
there.
on
So.
I am planning on going to the NBA store
Okay.
Sick.
All right.
tomorrow in Paris, and there's also this other spot that is doing an NBA collab with a local brand here that I'm planning on checking out. So,
If you see anything cool, just let me know, and I'll Venmo you, dog. Thanks.
I'll tell you all this. Everything is like pretty damn near the same prices here, which is pretty cool.
Well, you have my number.
I do. Yeah, I mean, the KD news is interesting and cool, but also it's not a done deal yet. And
Right.
there's
No, sir.
other suitors, and who knows who's leveraging who at this point for getting the best haul from him. But I also don't trust Matt Ishbia because he gave out that really weird letter about, like, I'm going to be more involved. So that's always cool when an
It's a
owner
fun
says
move.
that.
It's a fun move. All right,
Yeah.
well.
All right, AB, we're gonna get back to this. We're gonna
We'll
get
let
back to
you go.
this.
Yeah,
Enjoy
tell
your
me when you
laundry.
said hi.
We will.
Excited for the live stream.
Well, you better tune in.
In a couple weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm not tuning in. I'm going to bed.
That's fucked up.
I'll watch it in the morning.
Okay.
Wow.
So,
Some
All right.
friend.
Some
Some
friend.
friend
I
this
got
guy.
audio for this whole thing.
It's all good. You're by my mic, so you're good.
Okay.
All right.
Alright.
Later, AB.
Later, y'all.
Love you, buddy.
All right.
Very 1:15 in the morning.
Yeah,
You're
he's
calling
still
our-
locked in.
I mean, we do love and need AB, but
He knew the phone
we'll-
call was coming. Deep down, he was hoping for it. He was like, if they don't call me, I'm gonna be kind of hurt.
Right.
Like, so he was.
You're
There's
right,
a reason
you're
why
right.
he's doing laundry at 1:15. He'd been waiting all day. He put it off.
Yeah.
No, babe, we'll do it later. It's
He's
all
just
good.
sitting there in the robe, swirling his drink, waiting for the call.
Exactly.
It's a big ass water, bro. Gotta be hydrated as hell.
Gotta stay hydrated, bro. All
Um,
right. Well. Oh,
Let's
also
talk-
want to announce another thing before we get going, is that we do have a new logo.
oh yeah,
Or like 10 coming.
yeah, no,
Branding.
very, very excited about the.
Super stoked to show y'all soon.
I did my best with what you see before you today, but we got a actual real artist that did our stuff. So very excited to show you guys what that looks like. Maybe get some merch.
There's definitely gonna be some merch on the way. Hats, shirts.
That'll be fun.
AB was requesting some shorts. I'm like, I don't know if we can do that yet. We're not a full blown.
It might work.
We're not a full blown merch spot.
But let's get to it, right? Let's get to brass tacks. Welcome to the Silver and Black Coffee Hour. I know we've been sort of just rambling around here a little bit, but it's good. We're getting people in here. We want to start off by thanking all of you. I see 791 subscribers. That is extremely cool. I want to see all of you that are in the Austin area come out to Armadillo Den for the draft and come see us. Very excited for that. But we might get...
Introduce yourself first.
Oh, I'm Tom Petrini. Hey, what up? This is Zach Montana.
What up?
We're Austin-based San Antonio Spurs podcast. And today, we're talking about Kevin Durant possibly being a Spur come next season.
Well, I guess we could just say we're talking about the next 2 weeks.
Sure. But this is the headline.
Of course. Of course.
I don't want to bury the lead here at all.
Of course not.
This is big news. And it is, I think it's important for everybody to understand this, right? Given the Spurs position, given the Spurs assets, given their Wembanyama of it all, every time there's a star or superstar player that could be available, the Spurs are going to be in the conversation, right?
Did you hear Jeremy Sohan's quote today?
What did he say?
Essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
Somebody asked at the coffee or the juice shop he was at about unnamed superstars wanting to come, and he said, "Well, everyone wants to come to San Antonio now."
Yeah, it's cool. It's hot.
It's pretty dope.
It's happening, and so that's always going to happen when there's a high caliber player available, right?
Always.
But this KD stuff has a little more juice to it than the Giannis stuff from a few weeks ago. And you talked about it on the episode that we did that was our legislative session, right? You introduced a bill to trade for Kevin Durant, and I was thinking about it. I'm still thinking about it, and it seems like we are not the only ones who are thinking about it. It seems like the Suns and Kevin Durant's representation and the Spurs may also be thinking about it. It seems like the gambling markets have a consensus. The Spurs are the favorites as the next team of Kevin Durant. And when the numbers guys get that specific and locked in on a result, I tend to perk up.
Vegas doesn't like losing money.
They don't.
That's the way I look.
Right.
Odds always looked. I mean, the odds that it went from a plus 500 like 5 days ago to a minus 120 today.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of.
Yeah, they are favorites to land the guy, and like we've talked about, part of that is attractive basketball situation. I think another part of it that we kind of have an obligation to talk about as the Austin media wing is the Austin of it all. Like, Kevin Durant is Longhorn royalty. The Longhorns are the most important cultural institution in Austin, Texas.
Pretty close in Texas alone.
Yeah.
The whole state.
Yeah, no, KD has been involved in Longhorn hoops and athletics. He's spent time in the city. He would be a huge and mighty tool for the team to recruit some fans up here. And this is like a down the list thing, right?
There's also the WNBA aspect of him wanting to get a team to Austin. There's also just him living. I mean, we were at the Suns game when they were bringing him back to Austin. And, I mean, unfortunately, but fortunately, the Spurs back office saw that half that stadium was there for KD. And that's a pretty big eye-opener, I'm sure, for them as well.
No, he's definitely a draw, and I'm sure that would bring in new fans. And I mean, KD.
You think?
It would bring in new fans everywhere, but it would bring in new fans in Austin specifically. So I think that's a really interesting dynamic here. And I mean, on the court, I saw you talking about this a bit, right?
I love what I saw, to be honest, when I was looking up some numbers, and it made a lot of sense to me.
He averaged like 26 a game last year. He shot better than anybody in the league on pull-up jumpers and mid-range jumpers.
Well, I mean, if people are like, they look at his fit in Phoenix, and I don't think that's fair, because I think there's a lot of same type of players. Beal, you got Booker, and you got KD. You got three ball-dominant players who really have never played off the ball. And KD clearly is a good off-the-ball player, but if you look at the numbers, and to be honest, the numbers are awesome, his catch-and-shoot numbers.
Yep.
I'll pull them up. They're fantastic. I mean, he's top 5 in the league in pull-up jumper, like points per game. His shooting percentage is in the top 10 is the best. If we're going to start, people have less pull-up jumpers per game, their percentages might be a little better. But he's efficient field goal percentage, pull-up jumpers is 66%. But like, if we're going to go even further, Victor Wembanyama is in the pull-up, the catch-and-shoot, also top 10 statistic as well in points per game. His percentages are a little lower, but they both average 7.5, 7.6 pull-up points per game, or catch-and-shoot points per game. Which, if we're talking basketball, and we're talking like how to build a team, where you have the point guard to get into the lane, to draw the defense in. Okay, now just where are my guys who are obviously good at catching and shooting to draw attention, whatever, rotate the ball. It would be a fantastic fit. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you.
It would be a great fit, and then I also think about it in terms of mentorship. Like, you know, KD's still got plenty of buckets to get. Like I said, he averaged 26 a game last year, but you know, Wemby has talked about KD being you know, a basketball inspiration for him, and the way he was playing last year with all of the threes that he was shooting, with all of the off the dribble stuff, the shot creation, you can see the influences in the game. And I mean, how cool would it be for Wemby's development if he got to play alongside Kevin Durant, train with him day in and day out? You know, I think that would be a really, really fascinating developmental step.
One step further is also, it shows that the Spurs understand, like, not listen to Wemby, but it's like, hey, we understand, like, this is where you want to emulate your game. We want you to sort of emulate this, and if there's a way we can make this a lot easier. Yes, there's playing a week of basketball with somebody during the off season, and of course you're gonna pick things up and tendencies. It's a lot different when you play 82 games with them, travel the road with them, share the locker room with them, do dinners with them, do the habits, watch film. There's just a lot of things that go into, like, what more that brings to Wemby, I think. And, like, in Wemby's eyes, it's like, dang, these guys really trust me. And they're trying to do everything to make my life as super easy as possible.
I see a question from Christian Lemon here.
Let's start taking questions.
Giovanni Martinez asking about a trade for KD involving Steph Castle.
No.
And
did he get roasted for that?
I agree.
I hope Gio got roasted for that, because Gio's a Rockets fan. He's trying to cause drama in the chat.
I agree. well, Gio, your chicanery won't work, because as Christian Lemon says here, that would be a little crazy.
He said it's absurd.
Yeah, I don't think that'll happen.
Thank you, Christian.
I think I don't think that the Spurs would trade the number 2 pick for Kevin Durant. I don't think the Spurs would trade Steph Castle for Kevin Durant. I don't think, like, they may be fine parting with the 14th pick this year, but they also might not need that one, because it's a leverage thing. Like so many trades in the NBA, it's a leverage thing. And how much leverage do the Suns have here?
None.
Not a ton. Right? The only leverage that the Suns can generate is basically a bidding war, if there was a bidding war. But, you know...
I just don't think there is opportunity. I don't think there's going to be a bidding war, which is what I was reading an article today that Minnesota, because they said the teams that are involved are the Rockets, Minnesota, New York, Miami, and the Spurs.
And it's an interesting list because, like, you hear...
And that was Shams. Like, Shams
Right.
came out and confirmed. So this is not hearsay. This is not your random Twitter rumor. This is the top of the top confirmed.
It is the NBA's newsbreakers saying that these are the teams that are possible landing spots, right? And you look at those teams and you see a lot of them that were in the playoffs and, you know, maybe a piece away, maybe 2 pieces away. But like, and then the Spurs who didn't make the playoffs, right? And I think that sort of speaks to the position that the Spurs are in terms of their flexibility and stuff. What the Suns gave up for KD, obviously not great. You know, and they've put themselves a series of moves. They've put themselves in a position to where you know, it was sort of title or bust. They sold the farm, and now they can't grow nothing, right? And
it's a tough trade. I'm looking over it now, and I actually read a quote that they want to get something similar in return for KD, and I'm like, I mean,
there's just no way. They gave Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder 4 future first-round picks and a pick swap.
That's just like...
That's tough.
That's bad GMing.
Right. And I've seen...
That's just bad GMing. I don't know what else to say to that.
I've seen a lot of people be wary of the Kevin Durant trade for the Spurs because it's like, man, all these teams that have traded a whole bunch for Kevin Durant, how did that go for them? And it's like, okay, like, in those situations, they had to trade the farm to get Kevin Durant. I don't think the Spurs are going to have to trade the farm or anything close to it to get Kevin Durant. The question, I think, becomes, you know, what about an extension, right?
I saw it went up to like 62 mil, but if they do like a 1+1, which is what you're hoping for, and it's a team option, then you get 2 years of Kevin Durant and you can adjust. And if it works and they need to repay him, they can say, hey, let's just opt out, and you want to stay, we want you to stay, let's make it happen. I think there's a lot of rumors or whatever about who it's going to be for, what it's, you know, who's involved. I don't like doing speculation and stuff like that. I think that's not my job to sit here and spread rumors or sit here and be like, hey, on camera or whatnot. You can sit here and speculate all you want. I think there is smoke. If there is smoke, there's bound to be a fire somewhere, and I think that's why we're sitting here having this conversation. It's just not about who or what. I think the 14th pick would most likely be involved, and that's really as much as I want to get into it, because there's probably going to be a swap pick involved, and I wouldn't be mad if it was later on down the road at some point, because the Spurs expect to be good. And so, what's the point of why are we worrying about a later first-round pick if the Spurs are going to be good? That doesn't kill us at all. That doesn't kill what the Spurs are trying to build in. And we talked about it on Xbox Live, the 2 timeline situation that this opens up for the Spurs, and just how much this just allows the Spurs to be aggressive on 2 fronts for multiple years at a time, and then reassess and still be able to be aggressive, look at their assets, be able to move assets, still have at your own assets. This is just I don't know if a lot of teams have been in a situation for a star player like this, with their star player and us having Wembanyama and then Kevin Durant being on the market at his age with the opportunity to go get him at a discounted rate. I think this makes it, if it happens, it makes his job so much easier. I think I was watching Kevin Durant highlight tapes on YouTube, and I swear to you, it's like Wemby. When Wemby gets in the lane, there's 10 dudes around him, and you're like, they're extra dudes coming off the bench playing defense, and I'm like, what the hell? And I just kept thinking in my mind, you can't do that with De'Aaron Fox and Wembanyama on the court. You just can't. There's going to be no opportunity for a defense to play them that way. Any one of these guys that had gotten played the way they've gotten played before this, they wouldn't get played that way. They couldn't play them that way. Spurs would murder teams.
Yep.
Wembanyama be cutting back door wide open, doing his tippy-toe dunks all game.
And the thing that, you brought up in our last episode, um, the going for Giannis thing never made sense because even if it worked well, even if they won a title, you wouldn't be able to keep that team together long term.
No.
Kevin Durant is on the tail end of his career. He's still incredibly productive at about to be 37 years old. But he's averaging 27 a game. And
52% shooting, 43% from three-point.
Ridiculous efficiency. He's a game-changing defender still. And, if you get him on a court with Wembanyama, it's like that's a lot of length. Right, it's going to be very difficult for people. I think it's when we're talking about the trade packages, I don't think Castle's involved. I don't think the second pick is involved. That would be very surprising. But I do think it would be pick heavy. It would have to be focused on the future. Right, because that's what the Suns are lacking, right, is any sort of way to replenish the coffers, right? So there would need to be picks involved. There would need to be...
The money has to match up.
The money has to match up, and that means it would probably be it would be Harrison Barnes and...
Could really be between two people.
Right,
So
Keldon or Devin probably, and I'm very much invested in the future of those two guys. I have very much enjoyed watching them play, and I would be totally happy if they remained Spurs for a long time. The thing of it is, even if either of them reached their lofty potential as a player, would they ever get close to being Kevin Durant, right?
Evan H. has commented, KD can play for 5 more years easy. His game and his body are tailor-made to age like fine wine. So it's almost like, okay, if that's the way the Spurs look at it too, and Kevin looks at it, then let's just make this work long term. I've always looked at we've been in the room with Kevin Durant, blessed. It's really cool to be in the room with these NBA players and kind of get a different perspective on who they are. I think there's been this misconception that Kevin Durant's an asshole. He might be an asshole, but he seems like a guy you definitely would love to rip a few blunts with and just sit there and be like, yo, what do you? And he's just going off about things. You're like, oh, that just kind of makes sense.
KD is a thinker. He
Right.
is a poster. He is one of the best tweeters of all time. He's I think undeniably very important in the history of this game, right? He's one of the greatest scorers to ever live, period. And
let me ask the people watching: if KD came to the Spurs, are you buying a KD jersey? Because I think that's I've already put $100 away just in case.
Oh yeah,
just in case.
Well, and we already have.
Someone said
images.
we gotta get Gio out. Andy, I agree. We gotta get Gio out of the chat. We gotta have to block him. Get him out of here.
Mods.
Mods. We gotta have to get him out of here.
Be gone. No, I think because we've already got the image of KD in a Spurs jersey when they were doing the throwback. He was putting up finger rolls in the Gervin jersey. LeBron also,
Well, there's an edited picture that I always loved to use back when LeBron and the Spurs were rumored way back in the day. There was the picture of that shorter white guy, and I cut my head out and put it on that one and made it my profile picture for a long time. It's a great picture, and it looks like me next to him, but I was the first
you were
catfishing.
You were doing it before it was cool. I could see it. I could really see Kevin Durant being a member of the Spurs. Agree those throwbacks should be in the rotation permanently. Absolutely. They're swaggy. And Kevin Durant is a swaggy player, man. He's so beautiful to watch. There's a beautiful crispness to his game at that size, and that's what we are all drawn to Victor Wembanyama as a prospect about, is the skill and the size. and the Kevin Durantiness of a guy who's 7'3" or taller. So
We got a question from Andy. Are we planning on Wemby playing the 5 regardless? I think Wemby is the 5 in modern day NBA. There's no we tried it before. That was not that great.
Yeah.
Once he went into the 5, he was a stud. Get space. I think with him and if KD came and Fox, they just put 2 dudes in the corner and just run pick and pops all day and see what happens.
Still have to address backup center, but does Kevin Durant play some backup center? You know,
one thing that he did come out and say, or I've heard players come out and say as well, is like people know Kevin Durant's a scorer, but that man loves to play defense, and there's been multiple occasions like where I'm like, you know what? There's been players that have come out and spoken out. Like Kevin Durant isn't just like a one-sided guy,
right?
And having Wemby behind you, I mean, that might, I don't know if it makes you take a day off or is it like, hey, maybe.
No, it opens up so much because like think about it like this, like Wemby's got the back line, right? Wemby is often going to be the last line of defense. KD gets to roam. He gets to put those big ass arms in the passing lanes and just bust shit up.
Him and De'Aaron just get to just be nuisance,
wreak havoc, and so I think the basketball fit is obvious. I think the off the court stuff from Wemby to the business side of things in Austin and elsewhere.
Ooh, I like that from South Tex.
Let's see.
I like that off the bench. Yabu Sali,
Yo.
I like that.
I love me some Yabu.
Yeah, it's a great call. It's a great shout.
Celtics legend. And Big Booty King, Roshan Yabusele.
I'm in.
I'm there.
I'm actually, what are the Dancing Bear is what they call it. Remember?
Yes.
The Dancing Bear.
So hilarious.
I'm so in for that. I am really I like that bench. Yeah. South Tex, we're going to give you, we made the call about the KD trade. Just make sure to give the call for the bill to Brian Wright. He'll answer and put it on.
Yeah, I think if the Spurs go after KD, I think that is them pushing the button. Like, they expect it to be in the playoffs next year. If everybody's healthy, if everything goes the way they hope, they already expect to be in the playoffs next year with the roster as currently constructed, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they go and get KD, I think the expectation shifts up, right?
It has to.
It's like okay, you're really going for it this year. You're really going for like
next 2 years, which would be like
you're trying to win a title in the next 2 years. And around the core of Fox and Wemby and KD, I kind of like that is kind of scary.
I mean,
there's some really good teams in the NBA.
Think over the last 7-10 years of like big threes that you've seen. It's like LeBron, Kyrie, Kevin Love. All brought a different kind of feel to the game. All brought their own little whatever to the game. Obviously, you have Steph, KD, and Klay Thompson. All kind of brought their own little whatever to the game. I think with KD, Wemby, and De'Aaron Fox, you have a Swiss Army knife of a defender with De'Aaron Fox. We've already seen he's aggressive. He's puts his hands in passing lanes. He's quick as hell. Then you have KD. Then you have Wemby on the defensive end. Then you can obviously put pieces around it. That's not the hard part. The hard part is getting KD in the starting. Like, you don't find KD just growing on trees. You don't, like, you know what I mean? That's just not like, on the offensive end, as I said, run and pick and pop on the top right-hand corner with Wemby, per se, and let Fox get to his left hand downhill. Let Wemby pop. Okay, now Fox is going at a big man. They're going to naturally have to slide. Well, we'll just find where the slide's coming from, give it to KD. KD's going to be working on the guy, rotating to him. Okay, flip it. KD, you bring the ball up. Wemby, you set the pick.
Or Fox setting the screen.
Or how about Wemby, you get the rebound, you bring the ball up. Where's KD? Let's run a pick and pop right here.
There's so many. If the Spurs do this,
find join in the corner.
They'll have an opportunity to have an all-star, almost 7-foot shooter on the floor at all times. cross them over, use them in actions together, throw somebody on the weak side, the strong side. It's going to be a challenge for teams to match up because you've got then
You have two very athletic, tall, big men who are also like interchangeable with where they shoot from. Wemby has no problem pulling up from fucking deep. KD has no problem pulling up from deep. They have no problem. Wemby transformed his game to a catch and shoot player last year. Numbers back it up. Kevin Durant's a catch and shoot player. And De'Aaron Fox is a killer at the rim. We haven't even talked about number 2 pick, who's most likely to be Dylan Harper, who also eats 63% at the rim. And you're telling me that we're pulling guys out of the rim and we're going to give him lanes, Steph Castle, lanes to get into the lane. I mean, we're talking straight line drivers who love that. Oh, you can't help. You know you can't help.
Yeah.
And if you help, you're going to get killed. The 3 ball handlers that the Spurs have would feast whoever has the ball. Doesn't matter. The 2 they have now and the one they potentially have in 2 weeks, that is a foregone conclusion unless something crazy happens with the second pick.
Right. And while we're talking about Dylan Harper and the second pick, the consensus around this is Dylan Harper is the clear-cut pick for the Spurs and for anybody at 2, assuming Cooper Flag is gone at 1 to the Mavs. And we are assuming that, although the Mavs are a little, but the full expectation is that the Spurs are going to select Dylan Harper at 2, which, and I've said it before on this show, even if you don't want to take him, you tell everybody that you're taking him, and you let them know that if you want him, it's going to be expensive. It's got to be. So, yeah. He's a super talented player. His handle, his speed, his change of speed and direction, it's all so crafty, so good. I really, really enjoy him. And for any concerns about, can all of these, shot creators play together, I'm not worried about it.
That's the last thing
I'm gonna take the talent and I'm gonna figure it out later. I saw a couple questions in here.
First off, let's ask people hey, if y'all haven't liked it yet, if y'all don't mind liking and subscribing if you haven't subscribed, but make sure to like and heart, please. That helps us as well. So appreciate y'all being here.
I love the promo, man.
Yeah,
you're getting better. At just
Gotta be adamant. Sometimes you gotta annoy the friends a little bit. Got
right.
The boys in here.
Tell your friends. Yeah. Tell your enemies.
I appreciate the boys pulling up. Andy's in here. Gio's in here. Noel's in here. I got a few buddies in here lurking these streets, talking shit. Oh, Justin. Yo, Justin, what's good? This is my buddy Justin he's from Houston, but he moved to Denver recently. He's a big Denver fan.
Okay.
Justin,
we'll allow it.
Justin, do you feel like the jinx, though? Because you moved to Denver, they lost in the playoffs, so it might be you. It might be you.
Possible. He
said, if there's a bidding war, would you feel comfortable with taking the second pick? No. See, you come in here, you start asking crazy questions, Justin. That's not happening.
I'm not trading the second
He said, sorry, man, I didn't want to bring it up. That was a low blow about the Denver stuff. That's on me.
I'm not trading the second pick for Kevin Durant. 14 is a very different thing than 2. 2 in this draft, in a draft where, the consensus around league personnel and talent evaluators, the basketball world over, is that Cooper Flag is a generational prospect. Dylan Harper is a fantastic prospect. And then after that, it's all up to interpretation and guesswork, right? So when that is the situation, and the Spurs can theoretically follow up their shot-creating, two-way Rookie of the Year guard by getting another guard with great positional size who excels at the thing that Steph Castle is still working on. It's a no-brainer. Unless Yeah, no, I can't think of a situation where the Spurs would do that and leave people feeling good about it. I don't think it'll happen. Because again, the Spurs are operating from a position of uh, strength. They're coming from a position of assets and leverage and not wanting to do too much. They're the guy at the table that's got all the chips, and he plays very boring poker if he's smart. You know, he's not. Why would he go all in when you got all the chips? Like it doesn't make sense. So
Well, I do find it funny we're talking trading second picks and first round picks and whatnot. I think that if the 14th pick is involved in the Kevin Durant trade and it is a few more players, whoever it may be, I would find it kind of funny that one third of DeJounte Murray is equating to Kevin Durant.
yeah, dude. I think
Thank
about
you, Atlanta. Appreciate that.
let's think about because it's worth talking about here, right?
What's the right? Was someone saying what's the right price? Let's answer this first.
Yeah. As far as a cheaper extension, I'm not sure about that, but I'm also not sure what KD's market is, right? Like, KD is approaching 37 years old, and, even though he's a 27 point per game guy, I'm not sure who's going to be willing to offer him a lot of money longer term.
And I think that's why the Spurs are in a unique situation because they do have the opportunity with the cap space, and I think I was reading an article that Minnesota it would be a lot more difficult to bring in KD. They'd have to move a lot more stuff around. With the Rockets sort of have the bargaining chip with having their pick. They have the Suns pick. The 10th pick is the Suns pick, so they can hold it for a lot less. And I don't think they're going to package Jalen Green as much as. We have whatever, everyone has a different opinion about Jalen Green. I still think the Rockets are going to take Jalen Green over a 37-year-old KD long term. Like, that's just the way I look at it. Whereas the Spurs is different. We've had a lot of run with a lot of these guys that are rumored to be a part of these trades and whatnot. So do the Spurs feel they've come across and like, hey, we've seen what we need to see, and like now we feel comfortable making this trade without feeling like we're like losing too much in the back end, or is it just like as you said, like are we just trying to win right now? Like is this is like there's Spurs see an opportunity. The West is wide open. Look at it right now. The West was wide open, but obviously the Thunder were the best team. But 2 through 11 was all over the place.
There's a lot of parity. We've had a lot of no repeat champions for the last many years.
Get yourself in these opportunities. You just want to get in there, right? And like the hardest part is showing up. And I think to the playoffs, like I think the hardest part is getting there. And like if you just get your foot in the door, you have Kevin Durant if he's on the team. You have De'Aaron Fox if everything is the way it should go, and then you have Wemby. To act like those three guys can't push you to something. I mean, we're crazy to sit there. De'Aaron Fox is a clutch player of the year 2 years ago. Wembanyama should have rookie of the year, blocks champion, would have been all defensive NBA this year. Who knows what it was? He was all-star. Who knows how it would have kept going? He was playing unbelievable till the blood clot. I mean, look at his numbers in December. You went over it. There's a video of you talking about it, and it was like 42 points, 50 points, 8 threes in this game, 10 threes in this game. You're just like, holy shit, like this is on an unbelievable track. And then the blood clot happens and you can see not the decline, but just like you're like, that's not the Wembanyama I'm used to watching.
Right. He wasn't as dominant as he was, and the fatigue was clearly a factor. Can see Houston thinking KD puts them over the top in guns for him. Yeah, I can see that.
Short term though?
The thing with Houston is, and this is why it was kind of, I said it when they made these moves, when they went and spent money on, Dylan Brooks and Fred VanVleet, and, they're decent players, both of them. But when you go out and you commit long-term money to guys like that, it hampers your ability to make different moves, to be flexible, right? And that's what the Spurs have done an excellent job of this whole time is maximizing flexibility, right? And so if the Spurs can, go out, get De'Aaron Fox at the discount rack, you know, uh, the twist of fate with the blood clot, and then De'Aaron Fox gets his surgery, and then Castle gets to get some more on ball reps and close out strong for Rookie of the Year, and good for his development, and then they somehow jump from the 8th or whatever best odds to second in the draft, and then in the summer you have the potential to pick up Kevin Durant, who's still he'll probably average 25 a game next year wherever he's at. That's kind of crazy.
And you would be sort of picking Kevin Durant up in the discount rack too.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing. The Spurs are always going to be able to walk by that discount rack and be like,
and help another team out.
"Oh, this fits. How much?" And then they'll look at the number, and they'll see if, for almost all of this, it's going to be take it or leave it, And the Spurs are in an enviable position of being able to leave a whole bunch out there and only take the moves that make the most sense for them.
We've talked about it, that they've helped other teams out. They've made great relationships around the league. This has been a long-term type of build. And I was going over some stuff the other day, and Spurs fans in the chat can send their favorite player that played 10 or less games for the Spurs from 2020 to 2025. And I'm sure there's an interesting group of people. And a lot of there's 59 players that you can choose from that played from the Spurs from 2020 to 2025. 59 players that played two or more games for the Spurs.
I hate seeing those posts that are oh man, look at this poverty stuff we made, and it's a screenshot of the starting five from when guys were banged up in the year they were tanking for Wemby, and it was all right, I understand things were tough, but we don't need Romeo Langford taking strays,
No, and this is not taking strays at all. This is actually me giving appreciation to those players that have come along the way, put on the Spurs jersey, and kind of steady the ship. There are a lot of players in that group that you watch that I named or that I wrote down, like Stanley Johnson.
I was gonna say Stanley Johnson, dude, Spurs legend, Stanley 30 Johnson.
Games, dude. He shot 42% from three. His numbers were out. We let him.
He was so good they had to trade him.
They just let him go. They were go be on the playoff team. Yeah. You don't belong here.
They were you run free now.
There are just some players that you just were man, Tyler Johnson got some run for the Spurs. I think it was cool to see Julian Champagnie on that early list and seeing dang, Julian really made it out of the mud. There was a season Julian played 15 games, started 10, and then was Spurs oh, we want this guy. Yep. There's just a lot of interesting players that were on the list.
It's very merit based too. The Champagnie thing, there are guys that play his position that the Spurs spent first round draft picks on. And they were Julian has brought the most consistent results in in areas that we need for this position. So, and you've seen his career sort of take off as the trust from his coaches and teammates grows.
If the Spurs get Kevin Durant, I think it only helps Julian Champagnie's game. I think Julian Champagnie will be shooting some of the most open shots he will ever shoot in his life.
Yeah, real. And,
the most open shots you'll ever get.
Especially if the Spurs would have to trade a guy like Devin Vassell or Keldon Johnson, there will be a need for shooting, right?
Someone asked with KD, do you think the Spurs are the best Texas team?
That's something I've been thinking a lot about, 0-1. That's a great question. It's a petty question. It's a question that invites pettiness. And
where's Gio at?
Invitation accepted, because how funny would it be for the Spurs to watch the Rockets, flail for many years and draft, and then sign some free agents and bring in some guys and make their playoff push and get bounced in the first round. And then they make whatever moves they're gonna make. They try to get Kevin Durant, they don't, and then it goes to the Spurs, and then the next year they've got Victor Wembanyama, who could have been a Rocket and wasn't, and Kevin Durant, who could have been a Rocket and wasn't, and then the Spurs are like clear, far and away, like a better team than them, just leapfrogged them before the Rockets had a chance to win a playoff series in their rebuild. That would be fucking hilarious.
Well, we also got to remember that Kyrie Irving will be playing next year. And it'll be like basically 80. And I think they want to sign Chris Paul, which shout out to Chris Paul. Yeah. I think teams might have figured Chris Paul out there towards the end of the season. And I think as Spurs fans, as we watch every minute of the games, just pick him up full court and see what happens.
I mean, shout out to Unc.
I love Chris Paul though, but it was just.
But the Mavericks. The thing with the Mavericks is, like, it's about how real is Cooper Flag out of the gate, right? And I saw the question, or it wasn't a question in here, from BR. Can't wait to hear the term generational prospect again for the top guys next year. I get it.
It's Carlos Boozer's son. That's who it's going to be, generational prospect.
I understand the fatigue with that sort of language, right? But as it pertains to Cooper Flag, the kid has ridiculous measurables, and you put him on the court with NBA players as an 18-year-old, and he was making them all sweat. He was busting ass, and it's like he is very clearly a cut above. And where I was reading Sam Vecini's for The Athletic, the draft prospect breakdown that he had, and basically he was like, Cooper Flag is like a potential like all NBA potential MVP, like just on his face, and Dylan Harper is a potential all-star just on his face. And last year he didn't have any prospect in either of those two tiers, right? So I think it's fair to talk about Cooper Flag like that. And I think it's going to be really cool to see like how he is over there. But the Mavs, I mean, like, yuck. Their whole deal, yuck.
Someone asked if Mamu is on his way out or will he stick around? Will he still fit? I think Mamu fits perfectly with the Spurs are trying
I think Mamu fits most places, and I think you also have to think about money stuff. And if you're getting a guy like KD, if you're the books are you're extending De'Aaron Fox, like you're gonna need guys on cheap deals to eat minutes. And the Spurs struggled with big man depth last year. They need shooting. Mamu brings an amount of size and shooting and playmaking that I think the Spurs value. So maybe we'll see. Charles Bassey. Not sure.
Let's see, anything else we missed? We're running out like an hour here, so we got 33 people in here, so that's pretty good. I appreciate y'all here you go. What growing pain should we be ready for Mitch Johnson experience next year, or do y'all think he hits the ground running with a full off season? I like the question.
I think.
Great question.
Thank you. This is McG. McG. I think the growing pains for Mitch Johnson as a coach are going to be sort of out of the way after last year, which definitely was a stressful situation for Mitch Johnson, was a crazy situation for any coach to be put in. I think I'm actually really excited to see, and we've talked about this before on this show, but like it's different when you are keeping the seat warm for the greatest coach of all time. It's very different, right? You don't want to change too much. You don't want to implement too much of your own stuff, and change too much, and then Pop gets back and it's like, what is all of this? So I think that now that Mitch Johnson is officially the guy, we're gonna see much more of his individual coaching philosophy and style and play style and the plan from where he's sitting. I think we're going to see that right out of the box next year. So I'm really excited to see that.
I think we saw more towards the end of the season that he was getting more comfortable, and maybe there was some inkling suspicion that it was leaning towards his direction to be the full-time coach and whatnot. Yeah, I'm excited to see what he's going to pull with Wemby. I think him and Wemby are like two peas in a pod. I think they kind of grew together.
They get on well.
Wemby grew together.
I mean,
Mitch stopped growing, unfortunately, but it kind of the optics don't look great. But
before Mitch was the acting head coach, he was the guy who was running Wemby through his warm-ups.
Right.
And I think he continued to do that.
Yeah, he was doing that until. But so I think that's, Wemby. I think it makes Wemby comfortable. It makes him comfortable. It allows him. I hope he still keeps doing what he was doing with Wemby before, because it helps him kind of get maybe just nerves out of the game or whatnot. But I think there's just a lot that we're going to see next year that's going to be very exciting just as Spurs fans. Wemby's in monk school right now, so he's going to be ready to go. He's going to be
shaved his head,
aerodynamic
he pulled
like me. He pulled a Tom.
That's crazy, bro.
Shout out to Wemby doing that.
Everybody who's out there talking shit about bald Spurs Twitter, I don't want to see that shit anymore, bro. Talk about your boy.
Yeah,
talking about Wemby now.
Put Wemby in the list.
Yeah. Also, did you see that thing about Spurs fans on the internet and social media allegedly being the nicest and most positive?
They are on my timeline.
Yeah, I think that speaks to the nastiness of the algorithm.
Do you think Fox is automatically getting that max extension in August? I don't see why not. I don't see why not. I mean, if the Spurs, and once again, it would probably be 2-3 year extension. Let's just look. We went through the few years where you're penny pinching, you don't need to pay anybody. It's time to get this city behind this team and everyone locked in. Wins. I don't pay a little cash. That's fine. We'll survive. That's the whole point. Spurs haven't been in the luxury in years. There's a luxury to winning. You got to pay a little luxury tax.
Right.
This is the way it goes.
I think when you give up assets to draft or to trade for a guy like De'Aaron Fox, who
he didn't actually give up too much though, so it's almost like.
I mean, they didn't give up too much, but the fact that they gave up anything to get him,
that's fair.
They wouldn't have done that if the Spurs weren't already completely comfortable giving him that extension. Right? It's not a move they would make while thinking is he worth it?
No, you're not wrong.
So does getting the number 2 pick and Dylan Harper in addition to the Rookie of the Year Steph Castle change that? Because they're all downhill shot creators. I don't think so. And I don't think the Spurs are the kind of team that would be now we have a little bit of leverage and we'll try to, talk you down a little bit. I think the only reason that De'Aaron Fox wouldn't get or take a max extension is if he came to the team and was like, look, I want you to be able to sign other players. I want you to be able to have people around me and Wemby so that we can keep this thing rocking and rolling. We've seen people take that sort of discount, before, but I don't know. I think that the Spurs are going to pay De'Aaron Fox, and I think that, it might set up down the line, do they pay Steph Castle or Dylan Harper, but I think those are years from now questions. So
I think we've lived as Spurs fans in what's 2 years later like? What's this like? There is it all really depended on what Wemby was going to be, and how Wemby looked. Obviously, out the gate last year, he looked ridiculous, and so you sit there and you're like, okay, why not? Why are we just going to sit here and? I honestly think it's a two-way street, right? It's hey, let's not put too much burden on Wemby right away. That's not fair to Wemby. We're going to burn him out at a young age. We don't want to do that. We want him to be like, take a little meat off his plate. Take a little food off his plate, give it somewhere else. But then it's like, okay, we'll go from that way. But I think and then like with Kevin, like, yo, Kevin, we'll take a little stress off your plate, and we'll make this a lot easier for you or whoever. So and Darren, same thing. Like, these two guys now understand. They've already come out. Darren said that they're going to be the best pick and roll combination in the league. He said it to us at the final.
And there's no reason to believe that they won't be.
Why wouldn't they be? Kevin, him and Chris Paul were fantastic up until when he got hurt or when he went down with that. So, but we can afford to be patient. I think, yeah, I get that, but I do think there's an opportunity to have two timelines and use. What was the word you used? I said greedy. You said what was it?
Gluttonous, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit gluttonous. It would be a bit gluttonous to go get Kevin Durant, but like,
Shout out to my brother. He's in here. He said, Broski. What up, Marky? I'll see you tomorrow.
I think that when you just look at what the Spurs have done, right, and we keep coming back to the flexibility to asset building, but we see where that gets a team like the Oklahoma City Thunder, who does it boring and, fiduciary responsibility for their whole, existence for 10 years, and then boom, they're in the finals with a stacked team. It's an overnight success that took 10 years to get there, and the Spurs, with all due respect to SGA and Chethu and all of the guys in Oklahoma City, Spurs have a better cornerstone, and the Spurs have a brighter future because of that.
Do you think, and I'll ask you a question, we talked about this before, like, the fact that the cornerstone is so bright, people have been on Twitter like, yo, we got to accelerate this up, Like, in a way, do you think the Spurs see Wembanyama dropping 50 points a game? They're like, man, we got something here. We gotta cook with grease while we have it.
I think absolutely there's a feeling among teams that if you got a window now, you gotta get as much through that window as you possibly can, because the Spurs window is going to close a lot of other people's.
Would the Spurs, I guess is my question, would the Spurs be this aggressive if Wemby was averaging 16 points a game, had flashes looking better? Would they be this aggressive this offseason with the 14th pick or the second pick, vice versa, whatever it is, and knowing what you know now? Like, I just don't think that they would. I honest, like, to God, I think if
Wemby was putting up Chet numbers, none of this would be happening.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, no.
Like, so I think, and like, you have this opportunity. If Kevin Durant wasn't available, do you think they're fishing around with the 14th pick? I don't think they are.
If
I think they stand pat and they go about with their business, and that's once again. I honestly, that's the way I look at this.
The Spurs, I think, have always looked at the Wemby build and build out as, we want to be able to build around this guy for the next 10 years, especially, 4 to 10 years from now, right? We want to be loaded up.
Because we know he's going to be great, but he's already great.
Right, that's the thing.
That's the issue.
Because it's not an issue, it's just that because he has already shown himself to be a great player, the kind that you can build around and compete around, like right now, because you've got that, now there is a reason for the team to put assets and effort into winning now. Not so much assets that they compromise their future flexibility, but enough assets that they can get enough of a team around him right now that, like, actually he could, be like the leader of a team that makes a deep playoff run in year 3 if you put the right team around him, right? Like, and that's, I think it's the fastest I think we reached this point as fast as we possibly could.
Well, it wasn't going to be year 1.
It wasn't going to be year 1, and halfway through year 2, they traded for an all-star point guard for him.
Knowing what they know already.
Right.
and they're in the gym. They see what's going on behind the scenes. They're obviously very comfortable with what's happening.
So they knew that they had like, you know, they felt comfortable putting the chips in, right?
Miles said that they seem to be in a rush, but we haven't figured out what we have in this current team.
That's something I agree with. You know, like, and that's something that, like, when we talked about the potential for a Giannis trade and why it didn't quite make sense, you know, you would have to give up a ton for a Giannis trade, and you would give up a ton not really knowing exactly how it looks and what you need around a De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama core, right?
Counterpoint to that, though.
Okay.
Because you don't know what you have, because they really haven't molded, so they don't have tendencies yet, Victor and De'Aaron. There's not like a tendency. They're still learning each other.
Right.
Is this the best
So if you do
time?
add a big piece, then they don't have to change too much.
This is probably your best time to add it, because it's like we're still trying to figure out how to work to this. Like, let's just figure out us three to make this work together.
It's a good time to add another big piece as long as you don't have to give up too much for it.
Well, I'm in agreement with that. It can't be too much.
Yeah.
It can't be. It's got to be like the 14th. Obviously, I don't want it to be Harrison Barnes, but I think with contracts the way it's going to allow the Suns to have cap flexibility next year, because he'd be a free agent, $18 million off the books. It'll allow them to kind of start getting their numbers right.
Yeah.
And then obviously with numbers, it has to be either your $20 million earners to match that, to get it as close as possible you can. So we're just going to see what happens. I mean, at the end of the day, we're just fans like anybody else, and we would love to say we know things, but unfortunately, we're just here talking.
Yeah, I saw some, like, you know, shade about, like, oh, but the local Spurs reporters aren't on this stuff like Shams. It's like, yeah, that's Shams' job.
Yeah, that's his deal.
This is a whole thing, man. Like, we're not Shams, but we read him, and he and the rest of the basketball reporting world seem to think that KD to the Spurs is not just a possibility, but a likelihood.
So if it's like you said your price, I guess before we start getting out of here or whatnot, dwindle this down or whatever you want to do with it, because game's going to start here shortly. Spurs pick up the phone. What are you offering for Kevin Durant right now? Knowing what you know, knowing that Kevin Durant supposedly told San Antonio's where I want to be. Welcome to player empowerment.
If that's
NBA.
the case, I'll give you HB and like two, maybe a first round. I'm haggling. If KD says I want to go to San Antonio, I'm haggling like hell. I'm doing everything I can to.
No, you're trying to get a third team in, so you don't have to screw your.
Right. We're like, similar to the Fox trade where you had other teams sending salary and players to make this shit work. If he wants to come to San Antonio, then it's like, all right, well, what can we get you? And we can't get you much.
I think realistically, me would be the 14th pick. I think that's always going to be on the table with the situation. Who knows if there'll have to be a swap pick or a protected pick down the line, which wouldn't hurt my feelings too much. HB, unfortunately,
it would have to be Harrison Barnes.
Yep.
And then money wise, it would probably have to be Keldon Johnson or Devin Vassell.
If it's Keldon Johnson, there'll probably be a third player.
Right.
Because they have to make it'll be like a Blake Wesley or a Malachi Branham just to make the numbers match.
And I don't see Sohan going out in a deal like this.
I don't see. I don't.
Especially if there's no leverage for the Suns.
Are we went out of this? No, we're back. No, yeah, I don't think there's any leverage. Unfortunately, the Suns don't have any leverage in this situation.
Fortunately for the Spurs, though.
In all honesty, you're not getting more than 2 picks, and one of them's going to be protected. And that's why I said the 14th pick is means something because you can actually see it. You know what it's going to bring in. It's not, hey, we'll give you the 2027 first round pick. It's like, well, you might be fucking awesome. Or the 2028, we're like, you might be really good. It might be 32nd pick, 31st pick.
Right.
It might be 34th pick if they expand teams by then. You know, like you might get screwed. So it's like we're gonna have to sit here and like. The 14th pick is the Suns can see it. They can scout somebody. As I said earlier, it just makes it like the fan base like get excited for something. He's cheap on the payroll, and it makes the most sense for them. And then whoever the Spurs want to throw in there. But if that's the deal, I mean, thoughts on it?
I think.
Would San Antonio be honking the horn?
I think San Antonio would be very happy to bring in a player of that caliber at a price like that. And it would be a cost. It would be more of a cost than the De'Aaron Fox trade in terms of people we know, right? And so that would.
It's gonna hurt some feelings, unfortunately.
It would make me real sad to see Keldon Johnson go. It would make me
100%.
real sad to see Devin Vassell go.
Maybe real sad to see Harrison Barnes go. Harrison Barnes was awesome last year. I mean, if we're looking at top 20 shooters in the league, Kevin Durant was 5th. Harrison Barnes was 17th. We're not talking like, obviously their shot selection is a little different. So the fact that Kevin Durant was 5th is fantastic.
I loved
Harrison Barnes is
I
fantastic.
loved everything Harrison Barnes brought to the team this year. But again, if you get a chance to bring in a player like Kevin Durant who can still give you 25 a game on incredible efficiency, I think it's something that they're going to have to do.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Well, whatever you have, and then I see one last question to wrap us up.
I guess the way I look at it, does Kevin Durant make Wemby's life a lot more easier than Harrison Barnes?
I think, without a doubt, Kevin Durant possesses some skills that Harrison Barnes does not.
There you go.
With all due respect to Harrison Barnes, who has been an amazing, perfect vet for this team.
Fantastic. I really like Harrison Barnes.
Have thoroughly enjoyed his time here.
He talked a little shit to me when I said, "Yo, at what age do I, acquire the D-cell Euro step?" And he said, "Well, I learned that at 8. So if you don't have it now, then you're screwed, buddy."
You're boned, man. I mean, you could put in the work, but you gotta worry about these knees.
Yeah, that D-cell scares my knee every time.
The thing with Harrison Barnes is funny because cause on this Spurs team he's like an old man, but he's like what 32.
32.
Yeah,
he's my age.
He's not that old. All right, and I see a question from Nolan here. Nolan Aranda.
What up, Big Noel?
Who wins tonight?
Pacers. I love the Pacers. They play a great brand of basketball. Reminds me not of the 2014 Spurs, but they do play a great, fun brand of basketball where you gotta watch it. And I saw Rick Carlisle breaking down a play that one of his assistants drew up for a playoff game, and he said, "I don't know who drew up that play, but it was fantastic." And it was a unbelievable play call. There was 8 back screens. There was a decoy screen. It was a great play call. So
they're running cool stuff, and just for narrative purposes, I would love for the Pacers to win this one random title before the Wemby era truly comes in, and because I want him and Chet to be on level pegging, and I want the Thunder to be searching that, and now they got to go through the Spurs to get it. I want that. I don't want them to be defending champs. I want them to be still hungry.
Spurs acquire KD, beat OKC in the playoffs, win a championship.
Beat the Rockets and
KD,
OKC,
and then they get a championship, and then KD already has won a ring with the Spurs faster than he did with OKC.
There you go. You're cooking.
I've already got the NBA script next year.
Right.
Sorry, guys.
We figured it out. And I mean the Pacers, they were down 20 in the middle of the fourth quarter the other night, and I still had to watch them finish the game out. That's the kind of devil magic shit they've been on.
Just in case.
It's incredibly entertaining hoop. So
Who you got tonight?
Give me Pacers. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. No. Who do you got tonight? Y'all post who you got tonight.
Yes. Let us know who you think.
We're gonna go for 2 more minutes, and then we're gonna.
Yeah.
We're gonna go 80 minutes of our time, and y'all gave us 80 minutes of your time. We appreciate it.
That's always great. Yeah, 30 people in here still. That's really cool. It's always cool getting to talk to you folks.
I think we had 50 out here. 50 at one point.
That's what makes this super fun. Like it wouldn't surprise me if the Thunder win this game in this series handily, but
I'm honestly nervous for that, to be completely.
I just want to see. I don't want to see the Devil Magic run short. You know, I want to see it be as magical and satanic as possible.
You want to see the Devil Magic just
I want to see
it dry.
I want to see the middle of the Paycom Center or whatever it's called in Oklahoma City, turn into like a flaming pit, and then demons start coming out of it.
And it's Teller Halliburton.
Yeah.
Riding the devil's shoulder.
Right.
Yeah.
They're lifting him up.
Yeah. It's like this is our guy. This is our guy. Yeah,
right.
This,
And they start eating the fans.
Oh, okay. Now we're
Yeah.
My boy Gabe said, "Go Lakers." How about you go fuck off?
Yeah, that's that'll work. That'll work. That'll play. But thanks for hanging out anyway. I mean,
you're my guy.
That was actually really funny to see. Since you brought up the Lakers for no good reason, let's talk about them for a second.
See what you did?
Because think about this. Think about this. Kevin Durant is available for trade, and the teams that are mentioned as potential landing spots, Lakers not among them, Spurs among them. That's got to feel real bad. Real bad. Oh, man, that's got to stink.
Yeah.
If you're a Lakers fan. I wouldn't
Wow,
know.
what if they did the gauntlet? Lakers, Rockets, OKC.
Yeah.
And then the Celtics.
Right.
Wow. Book it. I just leaked the script again. Should have done it, but I feel bad.
Jay, I apologize, man. You're super late. You're about 80 minutes late. And
Jay,
you're gonna have to rewatch it. But we love you, man. We appreciate you coming through.
Jay,
we appreciate everybody coming through. I gotta eat dinner. I gotta pee, honestly, if I'm being totally real.
It's Mr. Ass.
Mr. Ass.
Dog, Mr. Ass from
we miss Mr. Ass.
That's one of my favorite follows on Twitter though.
Very good follow. But hey, thank you guys all. Sohan's defensive ranking in the league next time. I'm about it. Yeah, let's do it.
Luka, that's
and
all I'm saying.
That shot coming along.
Luka's been losing some weight, Gabe. Been on the Gabriel Rodriguez diet, the trainer. You sent him some stuff?
Dude, Luka, I'm still on this, man. Like, I don't care if he was smoking a Marlboro Red coming down the court.
That's fair. Well, Gabe,
that man, he's mighty.
Gabe has an opinion or two on it. I don't think he's a fan of it. Gabe's a personal trainer, so he sees people smoking Marlboro Reds and running down. He just probably
it sits wrong with him. Well,
yeah.
I don't care. It's metal. Hey, thank you everybody for hanging out. Thank you, Aaron Blackerby.
Let's go over a few things before we get out of here.
Yeah.
Because people are watching, and they might have missed a few things, and we might,
Yeah, you might have been late, like some of these jokers in the replies.
So I'll be in here next time. Just got off work. The Sohan leap into strictly at 3 rolling. It's good. Okay. We missed you, Jay. We could have used. Yeah, we could have used these.
We'll get you.
Minutes ago.
The next time we're gonna do a live show. This is a good segue.
We're doing a. Wait, tell.
Right, yeah. Austin, Texas, Armadillo Den, draft night. We'll be there. The Spurs will be there. The Spurs will be giving out drink tickets for people with Spurs gear, and they'll be giving out drink tickets for the first 100 people to come stop by and say hey to us, and let us know that they're subscribed to the show. So subscribe to the show. It's down. Oh, I can see myself actually. It's down over here.
We'll have an extra. Yeah. We'll be doing live stream from there. We'll have AB's got to set up with
Yeah, we're gonna have multiple cameras.
We're gonna have a
producer.
Yeah, have a producer. It's gonna be a whole thing.
Yeah, guys. We're very, very excited for that. Come hang out with us.
We'll also have. I will announce now that since we do have a new logo coming out.
Yeah.
In the next few days. We have it, but y'all don't have it. But we have it. We have a few of them actually. We will have merch there, our own merch, and I think our plan is just to give out maybe 25 free shirts just throughout the crowd. If we like you,
if we can get some SBCH shirts there, I'm very excited. I've been saying we need to get shirts that just say "Tell your friends, tell your enemies," because That's something that resonates with.
I do
people.
agree with that, but I think it's going to be strictly just a branding.
Oh,
when
for
this
sure.
happens, then we can
We'll
start
expand.
to reach our branches out in different angles.
So subscribe, tell your friends, tell your enemies. Come see us at the Dillo Den.
One free drink on us.
Yeah, go Spurs go.
Are they gonna do it? Yes or no?
I think they're gonna do it.
I got a weird feeling. That's all I'm gonna say.
I think they're gonna do it.
All right, we're gonna end the stream that way.
Yeah, we're gonna see. We think they're gonna do it, and
we appreciate y'all. Y'all are amazing. Y'all are the best. 27 people still in here. We've been on live for 84 minutes.
We love you guys. Thank you so much. I'm gonna walk up to the camera.
It's better than Kendrick Perkins. I told people it's better than Kendrick Perkins pregame show, and it's better than Kendrick Perkins. I told y'all.
It's a low bar.